What if everything we thought about Miranda was completely wrong? What if Miranda didn't die the way Victor remembers? And what if From has been hiding her biggest secret this whole time? Season 4 might finally be setting up the truth, and after looking closely at the clues, I think Miranda's story is far darker than anyone expected. Because the more you connect the pieces, the more it feels like Miranda wasn't just another victim of this town. She may have been one of the only people who actually escaped and came back. And if that's true, then everything changes. One of the biggest mysteries in From has always been Victor's memories. We know Victor remembers pieces of the past, but the problem is his memories are broken. They are incomplete. And every time he remembers something important, it feels like the town itself tries to stop him. That alone tells us one thing. The past is dangerous. Not because it already happened, but because understanding it could destroy the truth this place is built on. And now Season 4 is giving us something massive. The return of Miranda. At first, most people think this is just another flashback.
Simple. Easy.
But I don't think it is. I think this scene was placed very carefully, and there's something hidden inside it that changes her entire timeline. When Victor, Tabitha, and Ethan go into the car graveyard, it feels like a normal moment at first. Victor is searching for answers, trying to find something connected to the man in yellow. But while he's distracted, Tabitha walks toward the old station wagon. Miranda's station wagon. That moment matters. Because the second Tabitha touches that car, she gets hit with another memory. But here's the weird part. The memory doesn't match the car. This is where things get interesting. The station wagon sitting there is clearly an older family car.
Big. Wide.
Built for carrying kids. It makes sense because Miranda had Victor and Eloise. But in the memory, Miranda is driving a completely different car. Different steering wheel. Different doors. Different dashboard. Everything is different. That's not a mistake. Shows like From don't make mistakes like that, especially with cars tied to major characters. Which means there are only two possibilities. Either Tabitha's memory is wrong, or Miranda was driving back into town. And that changes everything. Think about it. If Miranda originally arrived with Victor and Eloise in the station wagon, why would she later be alone in another car? Where are the kids? Where is Henry? Why does she look so focused, almost like she knows exactly where she's going? That doesn't look like someone arriving for the first time. That looks like someone returning. And this lines up perfectly with Tabitha's story. Tabitha escaped. That's still the most important event in the whole series. For the first time, someone got out. The boy in white pushed her out, and she woke up in the real world. But then what happened? She came back. Not by choice. The town pulled her back in. Now, ask yourself this. If Tabitha escaped and returned, why couldn't Miranda have done the exact same thing? From has always been about cycles. Jade sees symbols because Christopher saw symbols. Tabitha hears voices because Miranda heard voices. Children keep repeating. Deaths keep repeating. Everything loops. So if Tabitha is repeating Miranda's path, then Miranda must have escaped first. That would explain why her second arrival looks different. It would explain why she's alone. And it would explain why Victor's memories are so broken. Because maybe Victor never knew his mother escaped. Maybe he only remembers her disappearing. And if Victor learns the truth, it could completely destroy everything he believes about this place. But here's where it gets even darker. What if Miranda didn't come back willingly? What if the town needed her back? That's the scary part. Because if the town can reach outside itself, if it can pull people back and even after escape, then nobody is ever truly free. Not Tabitha. Not Victor. Not anyone. And Miranda may have been the first proof of that. But there's another detail in that memory that nobody is talking about, and it might reveal who Miranda saw when she came back. That next detail might be the most disturbing clue in the entire scene. When Miranda drives back into town, we can see two figures standing near the road. At first, it looks like a random moment, easy to ignore. But in From, nothing is random. Every person, every object, every flash of memory means something. And if you pause and really think about it, these two figures could reveal exactly why Miranda returned. The first figure is hard to identify. The show keeps that person vague on purpose. But the second one, that's where the theory gets wild. The shape, the hair, the posture.
It looks way too close to Sophia.
And if that's true, this changes everything about her story. Because Sophia's disappearance was never normal. Think about how strange her entire arc has always been. Out of all the missing people, Sophia's case felt different. The way the town seemed to pull her in. The way Tabitha connected with her. The way her fear mirrored Victor's childhood fear. It almost feels like Sophia wasn't just another random victim. It feels like she was part of the cycle. And if Miranda saw Sophia years before Tabitha ever met her, that means one terrifying thing. Time inside From doesn't move in a straight line. That would explain so much. It would explain how Victor sees things before they happen. It would explain why Ethan seems to understand things no child should understand. And it would explain why the boy in white always appears at exactly the right time. Because maybe all of them are connected across different timelines. Not just memories. Actual timelines. And Miranda may have discovered this first. This could be why she became so important to the town. Not because she was chosen, but because she understood. That would also explain why the man in yellow is suddenly becoming more active. For years, he stayed hidden, watching, waiting.
But now?
He's moving.
Why?
Because Tabitha is getting too close to Miranda's truth. And if Tabitha uncovers what Miranda learned before dying, the entire structure of this place could fall apart. Think about Victor again. Victor remembers his mother as someone trying to save the children. Someone trying to reach the lighthouse. Someone desperate for answers. But what if that wasn't her first attempt? What if that was her second? Or third? What if Miranda had been trapped in this cycle multiple times? That would explain her confidence. Every flashback of Miranda shows someone who feels prepared. Not confused. Not shocked. Prepared. Like she had done this before. And if she did escape once, maybe she learned something terrible about the real world. Maybe the real world isn't separate from at all. That's the possibility nobody wants to talk about. Because if from exists like a wound between realities, then escaping it doesn't mean freedom. It just means stepping into another layer. A deeper layer. That's why Tabitha's hospital scenes felt so strange. The bracelet. The symbols. The impossible coincidences. Those weren't accidents. Those were signs. Signs that she never fully escaped. Just like Miranda.
And here's another thing.
Why would the boy in white help Tabitha escape if he knew she would come back? Unless that was the point. What if the boy in white isn't trying to save people? What if he's guiding the cycle? That would make him one of the most dangerous characters in the whole show. Because every escape could just be part of the trap. And Miranda may have realized this too late. That could be why she came back alone. Not to survive. Not to escape. But to stop it. To end it. And if that's true, then Miranda's death wasn't just a tragedy. It was a sacrifice. But sacrifices in From never stay buried. And there's one final piece of evidence from season 4 that makes this theory even stronger, because it may prove Miranda left something behind for Tabitha to find. And this final clue might be the biggest proof that Miranda knew exactly what was coming. Back in the car graveyard, Victor finds something strange. A bag hidden away, buried like it was never meant to be found. At first, it feels random, but then we learn what's inside.
Teeth.
That's not just creepy. That means something. In From, objects are never just objects. They carry memory, meaning, warnings. And teeth? Teeth represent identity. Proof that someone existed. Proof that someone suffered. So the question is simple. Who do those teeth belong to? A lot of people think it could be connected to the man in yellow. Maybe trophies. Maybe victims. But I think it goes deeper than that. What if Miranda collected them? Not as trophies, but as evidence. Think about it. If Miranda escaped and came back, she would know things nobody else knew. She would understand how the town works. She would know that people disappear, bodies vanish, and truth gets erased. What if the teeth were her way of preserving the truth? A record of every cycle. A record of every person who died. Because if the town resets, memories fade. Victor proves that. But physical evidence? That's harder to erase. That changes how we look at Miranda completely. She wasn't just surviving. She was investigating. And maybe that's why she had to die. Because the town protects itself. Every time someone gets too close to the truth, something happens. Father Katri died, right when Boyd needed guidance. Tianchen died, right when the food crisis began. Christopher lost his mind after seeing the symbol. The pattern is clear. Truth has consequences. And Miranda may have gotten closer than anyone. Now connect that to Tabitha. Tabitha is walking the same path. She hears the children. She sees visions. She touched Miranda's car. She unlocked Miranda's memory. That's not random. The town is handing Miranda's unfinished mission to Tabitha. Almost like choosing its next challenger. And this is where Season 4 could become the darkest season yet. Because if Tabitha finishes what Miranda started, she may have to make the same choice. Escape or sacrifice herself. That's the real pattern. Not survival. Sacrifice. Every cycle seems to need one person willing to lose everything so the next cycle can continue. Miranda may have been that person before. Now, it could be Tabitha. And what about Victor? This truth could break him completely. Imagine learning your mother escaped. Imagine learning she came back for you. Imagine realizing she died trying to end this nightmare. That would destroy everything Victor thought he knew. But it would also give him purpose. For the first time, Victor wouldn't just be the keeper of old memories. He would become the key to ending the cycle. Because Victor still remembers things no one else does. Broken pieces. Drawings. Voices. Places. And if Tabitha and Victor put those pieces together, they might uncover Miranda's final message. The message she hid before dying. And I think that message is simple. This place feeds on repetition. That's why people keep arriving. That's why children keep appearing. That's why the symbols keep returning. It's all part of one machine. One endless loop. But every loop has a weakness. And Miranda may have found it. Season 4 feels like it's building toward that reveal. Not just who Miranda really was, but what she discovered before the end. And if this theory is right, Miranda's secret isn't that she died. It's that she survived long enough to learn how this place truly works. And now Tabitha is standing exactly where Miranda once stood. One step away from the truth. One step away from breaking the cycle. Or becoming part of it forever.